You are ready. God is ready to give you the blessings that you've earned. You've been going through. The enemy been throwing stuff at you left and right, and you kept moving. You in trial after trial, seem like all hell done broke loose in your life. The enemy coming at you at every angle. It's intense. And the reason why is because you are in your receiving season. But it's one thing that you got left to do so that you can access the rewards that God has for you. God said to tell you, you know who you are. But now he's calling you to walk in who you are. That's a totally different thing. It's a difference in knowing who you are and walking in who you are. You got to walk in it. That means you got to take all those lessons that you learned during the test while you was going through, and now you got to put that into application. This is what God is calling you to do right now. And this is what's going to unlock your blessings. Because God has put so much on the inside of you. You have so many gifts and so many talents. This is why the enemy is angry. Because the enemy wanted your gifts. The enemy wanted your talents. The enemy want to stop you. Because the enemy knows that when you ACTIVATE activate what's on the inside of you, and you begin to walk in who you are, it's over for the enemy. That's what they're afraid of. That's why the attack is so fierce. They can't take it. They know when the expiration date comes for your problems, theirs will begin. So that's why they fighting so furiously against you. Because they're like, no, I'm not going down. But little do they know, it's not their choice. It's yours. You got to choose. Are you going to continue to go through the trials and the tests? Are you going to continue to allow them to put pressure on you? Or are you ready to turn the table in your favor? See, when you start walking in what you know, you move from practical to magical. Magical equals what? Miracles. Miracles happen because you decide that you're going to activate what's on the inside of you. Because you yourself are a miracle. You should have been dead a long time ago. The enemy been trying to take you out all your life. They've been knowing from the time you got here who you were. You just didn't know. And nobody can tell you who you are. You got to know it for yourself. You know? And see, that's why you had to go through the trials. That's why you had to go through the test. Because you had to figure out for yourself who you were. Something on the inside of you kept saying, I keep feeling like I'm supposed to be doing this. I keep feeling like that this is who I am. You knew. That was called intuition. But it's time for that intuition to turn into action. And this is why you're going through what you're going through. But don't worry. Your problems do have an expiration date. And as Sister Jake said the other day, the enemy knows this. Your heel may be bruised, but you're still his most formidable opponent. And that is what he can't stand. Because he knows that you're going to defeat him. Because he knows that when you step into your power and you turn on the powers that God put on the inside of you, it's over for him. So you know what you tell your enemies? Get ready, baby. You don't have to even voice it to them. Just say it in the atmosphere. Begin to speak over your life and say, the days for my problems are done. The expiration date for my troubles and my trials is here. and know that what you say has power. You got to feel it. You got to know it. Think about it. Imagine it. Be there. And when you start walking in that power and you stop focusing on what the enemy is doing, because see, that's why the enemy come at you the way that he does. He want to get you distracted. He wants you to get focused on what he's doing and what he's doing to block you. He's irrelevant. You hear me? I'm going to say it again. He's irrelevant. Let me help you. The enemy is irrelevant, and the enemy knows that. The relevant people in your life are the Most High, Mother and Father, God, the universe, whatever you want to call your higher power, and those in the spirit realm that are backing you. See, where you going, yes, your circle's getting smaller. It's getting smaller, but it's okay. Because you don't need a crew. You need a few to go with you. And the few that you need, they are already there. They're already there. You think you've been in solitude, but you've been surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And those witnesses are cheering you on. They're guiding you. They're giving you the messages that you need to move forward. But God said it's time to level up. Level up, level up, level up, level up. You got it in you. You have been in the place of the unknown. You've been asking questions. Why is this happening? Who am I? What is the point of this? It's all about to be revealed. All you got to do when you activate those gifts on the inside of you, it's going to be revealed. You know why? Because the enemy is about to get mad. So speak your truth. Stand on business. Don't allow the enemy to distract you. Don't allow the enemy to intimidate you. Don't allow the enemy to make you fearful. Walk in your power and serve notice on the enemy. I am a child of God, and you will respect my authority. When I speak, you will stand down. When I speak, you will feel it. When I speak, you will hear it. Because your time has come to an end. And it's now your time to step into the shoes that you thought you were creating for me. You were creating trials for me. You were creating tribulations for me. Little did you know that those trials and tribulations that you were creating for me was training ground for the glory of God to be revealed in my life. But what's going to happen when you get in that same situation? When the tables turn and that karma come back, what you going to do? Because see, the difference between the enemy and you have spiritual backing. The enemy, they just going to be out there. No covering, nothing. Exposed. Hurting, going through, no help. See if they like it. And no. As chosen ones, because if you're going through this, you're chosen. As chosen ones, we don't wish that on our worst enemy, but we can't stop it. And I want you to know something. Let me help you right now, because see, I know how we are. We always want to help everybody, but it ain't your place. It's not your place to help them. Not because they didn't help you, but because God said, if you step into this arena where I am bringing justice for you, and you try to help them while I'm bringing justice for you, you gonna get what was for them. So you have to make a choice. Is it gonna be about you, or is it gonna be about them? You gotta love yourself more. You got to know that you're worth it. Everything that God has for you, you have been through enough. God said you're ready. You earned this. People will tell you that you didn't. Don't believe them. You did earn it. You went through the test. They didn't. You went through the trials. They didn't. You lost everything. They didn't. They sit in their comfortable houses. They got their families. They got their children. They got their life. You gave yours up. And because you gave yours up, God said he got a new life for you. A new one. You've been reborn. You've been born again. And you can thank God for it. The other day I told God, I had an epiphany. I've been going through a lot. God, I thank you. Because you trusted me with the test. Because you trusted me with the trials. Because you trusted me with the tribulation. Because you knew what you put on the inside of me. You knew that I could handle it, even if I didn't know. And what I thought was hard for me, you knew would be a breeze. And that's why you allowed me to go through it so I could see my power, so I could step into who I am, so I can stop playing small, and so I can level up and play big, because the world is waiting. You are somebody's answer. Not just somebody, but a lot of somebodies. They're waiting for you to rise. They're waiting for you to step into your position. Because until you do, they're stuck in the matrix. Being controlled by the system. Being controlled by their surroundings. Being controlled by these groups that they have attached themselves to. That mean them no good. They're attached and stuck. And you're the one that's going to get them from that stuck place to where they should be. But you got an ACTIVATE. Activate the gifts and the talents that God has put on the inside of you. And watch the overflow start pouring out like never before. Watch the overflow. It's coming. Just start walking. Don't look back. Don't look back. That's what you left behind. It's going to come out. It's going to try to pull you back because it doesn't want to see you go forward. That was the whole point in the first place. Because when you are anointed, the enemy can't stand it. Because you began to tread on his territory and take back what he took from you. And take back what he took from God. See, that's what's the problem. He want to continue to be in control. But his time is up. God gave him so much time to rule. Gave him authority to run around the earth and do, seek whom he may devour. Everybody gets to make a choice. Some people decide they want to stay in the matrix. Just like Cypher in the matrix. But then Neo decided what? He wanted to get out the matrix. He wanted to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And yes, even when he got in, he did say, let me out, let me out. It was a lot. But even in him saying, let me out, he didn't leave. He stayed. And in his stand, he grew and he learned. His muscles started out weak. You remember when he was on a table and they had stuck all those needles in his body? And Morpheus told him his muscles had to be rebuilt because he hadn't used them. That's where you've been. That battleground, the trials, the tribulations, the tests, your muscles have been being rebuilt. God has been rebuilding you and restoring you. Because in this next season, And this next cycle, God is about to pour out blessings upon you that you hadn't even imagined. So prepare to be amazed. Prepare for your greater. Prepare to walk in the power and authority of God that is on your life. Don't worry about your enemy. They'll be all right. Just like they thought you was going to be all. Well, they didn't think you was going to be all right. They thought what they was doing was going to kill you. They'll be all right. It didn't kill you, did it? No. They'll be all right whether they live or die. They're going to have to make that choice. But where you are right now in your life, if you are seeing this message, you have come to know who you are. God is calling you to walk in who you are, because you walking in who you are about to step into places you never thought that you would step. Doors are swinging open for you that you didn't even see. Watch what God does for you when you activate. You got superpowers. They're soon to be revealed. It was just divine timing. See, it wasn't your timing, it was God's timing. See, a lot of times we think, I'm done with this right now, God. Come on, right now. I need you to come through right now. God is saying, you're not ready. You're not ready. You still in a no. You still in a knowing season. You're not in walking season. And when you get out of knowing season and get in a walking season, you become a co-creator with God. That means what you think, you create. What you speak, you create. What you imagine, you create. This your superpower, your creations. You were created to be a creator. So create the life that you desire. Create the life that you deserve. Because even in your trials and your tests, you did not lose your standards. You did not sell out. You didn't bring your values down. You said, nope, I'm standing on what I know is right. You built it. You built it yourself. The hard way. Fighting through all the attacks. Fighting through all the roadblocks. Going around the enemy, over the enemy, through the enemy. And now, the enemy is about to be your springboard to your promise. You started this with shame, fear, and guilt. But God took that shame, fear, and guilt and transformed it into power and purpose. Imagine that. Power and purpose. That's where you are right now. Walk in your power. Walk in your purpose. Walk in your destiny. Because it's your time. The enemy's time is up. Game over. You win. Congratulations. Let me be the first to say it. God is proud of you. The great cloud of witnesses that are cheering you on, they're proud of you. They are. And God loves you. They love you. God is about to connect you with those in this realm that care about you, that love you, that support you. He's about to show off everybody's true identity. Because, see, there has been a lot of false identities out here. There have been a lot of people stealing other people's identities and pretending to be things that they weren't. But God is about to show you who is who. Because in the next leg, everybody can't go. So God's about to show you who can go with you and who to leave behind. It might not be comfortable, and it may hurt. Allow yourself to feel it, grieve through it, and move on. If it was to be left behind, it's a reason. Toxicity cannot dwell in alkalinity. The place you're going to is alkaline. That means there's no disease there. There's none of that foolishness. Negative energy cannot reside in a place that has been prepared for peace. You know why? Because the light shines upon the darkness and exposes it. And that's the problem. That's why the enemy was coming for you so hard. Because your light is shining. And when your light shines, it exposes the enemy. And the enemy didn't want to be exposed. Because the enemy had on a mask, pretending that they were the one that was projecting the light and that you were in the darkness. But let me tell you something. My grandmothers used to say, what's in the dark will come to the light. Eventually. So, they played the game. They even had people in high places to come against you. In the government, the police department, the library, the grocery stores. Oh, they was coming for you hard. But guess what? God said they had people in high places, but they not higher than me. And he said, just like they think they're high and mighty, I'm about to bring them low. Bring them all the way down. And see. Let's see what they do when they get in that place that they tried to prepare for you. Because God allowed it. But it didn't mean that he was not going to let them. It didn't mean that he was going to let them get away with what they were doing. It didn't mean that he wasn't going to back you up. It didn't mean that he was not going to bring justice for you. He was just allowing you to go through the test so that you can understand who you are. Know it so you can walk in it. So thank God. Keep praising him. You've been praising him through the test. You've been praising him in the trials. You've been praising him through all of this. Come hell and high water, you ain't going to stop. Because you understand. You overstand. God and those in the spirit realm that have been cheering you on. Those angels, those ancestors, your spirit team, your spirit guides. You know that they've been there and they've been consistent through it all. See, the difference between you and a lot of your enemies, you are going through the test. They're going to the test. And a lot of them are not going to make it out. But you are. You are. It's your time. It's your season. I'm so happy for you. Smile. Look up. Love hard. Don't allow yourself to be tainted by the foolishness that they brought in your life. Yes, you can love. The Most High will show you who you can trust. He's about to show you. And when he shows you, please accept it. Don't be foolish. Because if you go backwards, you're going to have a lot of problems that was worse than the ones you just came through. And if you know what you just came through, you definitely don't want that. Keep focused. Move forward. And know your redemption is here. You've been redeemed. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Shalimar Ali L with Self-Redemption 369. You redeemed yourself because you stood tall. You redeemed yourself because you stood tall, strong in the test. God is about to bless your socks off. Until have a good day. Have a great day. Have an amazing day. And walk in who you are. Allow your light to shine bright and your anointing to flow. You in the flow. Let's go. Peace, love, and light.